Welcome to an exciting tutorial on creating a Vision AI pipeline using Google Cloud Platform. In this lesson, we'll build a smart, multilingual pipeline that processes images, extracts text from them, translates that text, and adds captions in our chosen language. To begin, we need to set up the necessary components in Google Cloud. We'll use several key services: Cloud Run, Cloud Functions, Cloud Build, PubSub, Artifact Registry, Eventarc, Cloud Logging, Cloud Storage, and Cloud Vision. Let's briefly explain what these do. Cloud functions are serverless, event-driven compute resources. They run your code in response to specific events, like file uploads to Google Cloud Storage or PubSub messages, without you needing to manage servers. Eventarc is a service that connects different event sources to targets. It helps route events from sources like PubSub, cloud storage, or other applications to your cloud functions or other destinations. PubSub is a messaging service that allows asynchronous communication between independent applications. It uses topics, which are named resources where messages are sent by publishers and received by subscribers. This helps decouple services in your architecture. The Vision API provides powerful image analysis capabilities, including text extraction from images. We'll use this along with the Translation API, which allows us to translate the extracted text into various target languages. Now, let's outline our workflow. First, upload an image to Google Cloud Storage. A Cloud Run function is triggered to extract text using the Vision API. The extracted text is sent to a PubSub topic for translation. Another Cloud Run function translates the text and sends it to another PubSub topic. Finally, the last function adds the translated text as a caption to the image and uploads it back to Google Cloud Storage. To set up our environment, we'll start by creating Google Cloud Storage buckets and PubSub topics. We'll use the Cloud Shell in the GCP console for this. First, we'll create two storage buckets in the US Central 1 region, one for uploading images and another for storing the results. Next, we'll create two PubSub topics, one called Translate for messages that need translation, and another called Results for messages with translated text. With our initial setup complete, we're ready to clone the repository containing the code for our cloud functions. We'll be working with three main functions: process image, translate text, and save image. Let's start with the process image function. This function is triggered when a file is uploaded to our Google Cloud Storage bucket. It extracts text from the image and sends messages to PubSub Topics for translation. The process image function begins by importing necessary libraries for handling cloud events, JSON, and Google Cloud services. We create clients for the Vision API, Translation API, PubSub, and Cloud Storage. The function retrieves the project ID from environment variables, which we'll define when deploying the Cloud function. Here's how the process image function works. It uses the Vision API to extract text from the uploaded image. The extracted text is logged for monitoring purposes. The function detects the language of the extracted text. It then loops through the target languages, in our case just English, to prepare for translation. Finally, it publishes a translation request to the appropriate PubSub topic. To deploy this function, we use the gcloud functions deploy command. We name it extract text and specify that it's a Generation 2 Cloud Run function using Python 3.12. We set the region to US Central 1 and define the entry point as process image. The trigger for this function is set to our OCR bucket named OCR Translate Images. We also need to set environment variables for this function, including the GCP project ID, the PubSub topic for translation requests, translate, and the results topic, results. We define English as our target language for this demonstration. Moving on to our second function, translate text. This function is triggered by messages published to the translate PubSub topic. It takes the extracted text, translates it to English, and then publishes the translated text to the results PubSub topic. The translate text function follows these steps. First, it checks that the incoming event is a PubSub message. Second, it extracts the text data from the cloud event. Third, the function then translates the text to English. Finally, it publishes the translated text to the results PubSub topic. We deploy this function similarly to the first one, but we don't need to specify the translation topic or target language, as those parts are handled within the function itself. Our third and final function is save image. This function is triggered by messages published to the results PubSub topic. It takes the translated text, adds it as a caption to the original image, and uploads the captioned image back to Google Cloud Storage. The save image function uses the pillow library to manipulate images. It downloads the original image from cloud storage. The function uses a custom Arial font, which we've stored in a cloud storage bucket, to draw the caption. It adds the translated text as a caption to the image. Finally, it uploads the captioned image back to the results bucket in cloud storage. To deploy all these functions, we need a requirements.txt file listing the necessary Python libraries, including Google Cloud Vision, Google Cloud PubSub, Google Cloud Translate, and Pillow. After deploying all three functions, we can verify their status in the Google Cloud Console. Navigate to the Cloud Functions section and you should see three functions: extract text, translate text, and save image. Each function will have its specific trigger. Extract text is triggered by file uploads to the OCR Translate Images bucket. Translate text is triggered by messages published to the Translate PubSub topic. Save image is triggered by messages published to the results PubSub topic. These functions are designed to be lightweight and cost-effective with minimal memory allocation. Now that our pipeline is set up, it's time to test it out. Go to the Google Cloud Storage section in the console. Find the OCR Translate Images bucket we created earlier. Before uploading an image, open the logs for each of our 3 functions. This will allow us to monitor the pipeline in real time. To test the pipeline, upload an image with text in a foreign language to the OCR Translate Images bucket. For this example, we'll use an image of a sign in Mandarin Chinese. As soon as the image is uploaded, you should see activity in the logs. The extract text function will be triggered first. In its logs, you should see a message indicating that text was extracted from the image along with the detected language, Mandarin in this case. Next, check the logs for the translate text function. You should see a message showing the text being translated to English. Finally, look at the logs for the save image function. There should be a message indicating that the image was processed and saved with the translated caption. To verify the final result, go back to Google Cloud Storage. Look in the results bucket we created earlier. You should see a new image file. This will be your original image, but now with the translated text added as a caption. Download and open this image to confirm that the caption has been added correctly. We'll provide all code and the diagram file in the video description for your reference, reuse, and revision. If you'd like to support the channel, start a trial of our new design tool linked in the description, and let us know what you think. Thanks so much for watching until the end, and please enjoy responsibly.